Today's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2014, and you're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today, www.cesf.org. Hey, everybody, got a shorter show for you to do, and if you can tell, I am a little turkey lethargic, so stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday with this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes, and happy, thank you, and happy, happy belated Thanksgiving for those of you out there who are still on break for that holiday. Man, enjoy it while you can, because it went way too fast for me. It sure did. But anyway, hello everybody. I'm Tom Seibert. I'm your host for the Elevator Radio Show. It's good to be here this Wednesday morning, where last week we did not have a show because it was a busy Wednesday trying to wrap up, get up to the Northwoods, Wisconsin, where I spent some awesome days up there with my mom and my dad and my wife and my kids, and had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. Really enjoyable. And made some great memories up there, and that's what it was all about. A little bit chillier up there as opposed to Chicago. But and it was a quick, packed kind of trip, but still had a great time. Got together for a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner with our good friend and neighbor to the east of us, and basically just had a nice time. I hope everybody had an enjoyable time as well. So by far my favorite holiday, an opportunity to give thanks for so many things out there. Me personally, I'm thankful for all of you who listen to the program, who are nice enough to come up to me or send me emails saying, "Hey, Tom, I listened to the show. Thanks for putting that out there. Greatly appreciate it." So I definitely appreciate that. Hey, I can't believe we are coming up on we are completing 9 years, if I do the math correctly on that. So first show was December 14th, 2005. It's amazing that we're almost 10 years old. Holy cow. That means we're on show number, let's see here. Bear with me one moment here. And I seem to have lost camera number 2. I don't know what happened to that. We won't worry about that. And it seems as if the internet is somewhat slow. So I have no idea what Comcast is doing with their stuff. But let's see where our... this is going to be a painful show, I think, based on where we're at. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It looks like we're at show 380, but I don't think that's right. I think we're at show number 381. Yeah, we're at show number 381. That's where we're at. So anyway, but it's good to be here. And, we've gotten to the point I've gotten to the point where I really don't care about statistics anymore. None of it impresses me. It is what it is. And since I'm not trying to please any advertisers out there, this is a labor of love. But it's been a cool, fun journey, and it's been really cool to see how the industry has changed over the years. So, which I think is pretty awesome. We do have some pretty significant articles to cover on the show today, which we will just shortly after I make this one update. Did not get a chance to check my email as of yet, but hope to have that done next weekend or this weekend. I just don't have the time. I just wish I had more time, but I just don't. Maybe I need an assistant. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll get into the news, but as always, send your email comments or questions or concerns to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as quickly as I possibly or humanly can based on my busy work schedule, blah, blah, blah. All right, up next, we'll get right into the news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, your Lyft news source is coming to you as live as we can be from the Chicagoland area early in the morning, Wednesday, December 3rd. Okay, first news article on the program, a terrible tragedy that occurred up in Wisconsin. A woman was actually killed, or her body was found inside a dumbwaiter. Details are yet to be determined, but apparently she was a student, a pretty well-known gymnast attending let's see, what university did she attend? Oh, crud. I think University of Wisconsin. But just awful. Basically, the general details are that, and this is coming from Heavy.com news, there were quite a few articles on this throughout the internet community. And but yeah, apparently she was found inside a dumbwaiter at the Wingdam Bar, which is extremely scary. And as you may or may not know, she was one of the best gymnasts in Wisconsin, and as you know, many gymnasts are small, nimble, and perhaps maybe she thought she could get in, but it's just awful. And I think this is the second news story or article we've talked about regarding fatalities in dumbwaiters, and thank goodness this doesn't happen more often. But the reality is that I don't know if we need to put more labeling or information on dumbwaiter doors to be more proactive, so that the articles like this don't happen. WEAU.com has a little more information. Let's see if we can play this without blaring you with a let's see here. This is the updated news story. Let's see if we can do this. Bear with me if it just goes nuts. Okay, yeah, so anyway, it's about to start the news story from Eau Claire. Bear with us here. Okay, almost done.
Top story tonight at 6. Questions remain as police investigate the death of a Winona State University student. The Fountain City Police Department says the 21-year-old woman's body was found last night inside a dumbwaiter at Wingdam Bar and Saloon where she was working. Winona State University says the victim was one of its students, Brooke Bowers of Chautauqua, an accomplished gymnast for the Winona Warriors. WEAU's Jenny Yu is back from Fountain City, and she's in the newsroom now with the latest. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Nikki. The Fountain City Police Chief says he had about a dozen interviews to do today with witnesses, but right now there are no indications of a crime. The community still has many unanswered questions tonight. They want to know how a tragedy like this could happen in a small city like Fountain City.
Word spreads pretty fast in this town of this size.
Just across the street from Wingdam Saloon and Grill, a group of card players talk about the untimely death of 21-year-old Brooke Bowers.
Everybody knows everybody, and her we all know her relatives.
A little town like this, you don't hear of stuff like that, like somebody dying.
Police Chief Jason Mork is the sole officer in Fountain City.
The 911 call asked for immediate help. First responders arrived on scene, and they found a 21-year-old female passed away.
Mork says Bowers, an employee at Wingdam, was found inside a dumbwaiter with an opening that's about 3 feet by 3 feet.
This is not a full-size people elevator, but it's slightly smaller. Its general purpose, to my understanding, is to move food from the first floor to the second floor, and she was found trapped in it.
Community members say tragedies like this aren't common in their small city.
Stuff like this probably happens in big metropolitan area, and you don't hear much about it, but when something like that happens in a little town like this.
This will make an impact, but nothing comparable to the family. That's my biggest role right now, is just trying to get the information that I can as best I can, directly, indirectly, and then getting to the family.
As we mentioned, Bowers was an accomplished gymnast at Winona State. The athletic director, Eric Scho, sent us a statement saying Brooke was a leader on that team and a very talented gymnast. This is a tremendous loss for our community. In the newsroom, Jenny Yu, WEAU 13 News.
It's just it is a terrible tragedy. I don't mean to make light of it by any means. And the reality is that the one gentleman who was interviewed saying that an accident like that affects a smaller community, or you perhaps in a larger metropolitan area you may not hear about it, but you would hear about that kind of accident occurring. And it, no matter what, that is that affects everybody who's involved, obviously, no matter how big your community is. So just awful. I believe this is the second fatality this year that I remember seeing. Other one was in New York. So I am certain that we'll learn more about the accident details as the story progresses and the investigation continues. So the other story that pretty much hit. Hit with a vengeance, and hats off to ThyssenKrupp for being pretty much the news creator of the week. They have come up with basically a design idea where elevators kind of not only move up and down but left and right. And while I'm not sure if this is necessarily a new idea, it certainly is one that they have some patents for or pending. And so the next few articles are kind of going to talk about that. And I think, and this is using magnetic levitation. So whether or not, and how far this design concept comes to fruition, I think many of us were skeptical when the Destination Dispatch came through, and seems to be staying, and more buildings are going that route. But it's pretty cool. So whether or not, again, this kind of system comes to fruition is remains to be seen. But again, hats off to ThyssenKrupp for getting that whole, basically processing that out. Gizmodo Elevator has another related article talking about how to fix the elevator, and I got to tell you, based on the title of this, I don't know if who wrote this and who translated it, but it makes no sense whatsoever, in my opinion, and I think it's trying to latch on to the news created by the new magnetic sideways upwards type of elevator system. But after reading this article, okay, and scratching your head as I did myself, again, which has nothing to do with the maglev elevator system, scroll down to the comments, because I gotta tell you, some of these comments are hilarious, and I could not help but find one of them that was posted by Tom. It says, hey, the problem to this has been solved, has been more or less solved. It's actually been solved over 100 years ago. It's called a paternoster, and it wants to kill you. I do not mean to laugh, but when thinking of a machine as something that wants to eat you or kill you, I think this is pretty hilarious. So anyway, another post in here talks about the fact that due to elevator codes and the importance of them, a system like this may take quite a while to develop, depending on how it's approved and whatnot. So pretty cool. Anyway, so the next few articles kind of talk about that, and here's one from TKA as a Architecture News or Daily, talking about ThyssenKrupp promising to revolutionize skyscraper design with elevator innovation. So yeah, we'll see when this system comes into effect, and whether or not we see companies and architects specifying this kind of stuff. It'd be neat to see the first one ever developed, to be honest with you. So pretty cool. Okay, and that pretty much wipes out 4 of my articles for the show, but I'll let you all check that out on your own. This Spice escalator, again, is in the news. Cyclists who hate hills meet the Norway's bike escalator. This thing is old, and there's been many photographs of this thing, and I can't believe anybody in Norway, although they're skitty, but would ever want or need some kind of thing like this. It looks as if it's kind of a pay-per-go kind of deal, but just ride your bike or walk up the hill, man. I don't know. This looks more dangerous than the alternative. So anyway, check that out. Link is in the show notes. Man's foot cut off by elevator door in Netane. Anyway, so crud, get over here. Stop seeing these ads. I hate ads. Hate them. Apparently, a 44-year-old man's foot was cut off after an elevator door and a building closed on it. I can't imagine that happening so quick. It sounds as if maybe the doors closed, the elevator took off. I don't know, but ouch. Ouch. Just coming from the Jerusalem Post. jpost.com or the jpost.com news source, and I don't think we'll learn any more about that. Andrew's got a great, cool video. It's not necessarily new, but it's been reposted about his visit to Macy's in New York, and this is a cool old freight elevator with a car switch operation. And if you listen to the mechanic talking about it, it's amazing. The guy's talking about how there's sloshing or wood banging below the elevator pit, and he goes, they've got skids in there so that there's water in the pit. They've got skids in there so he can run across underneath the elevator to get to whatever he needs to get to. Is that not nuts or what? But watch the video. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a huge, huge car. And Andrew, thanks for posting that. Okay, 2 injured in Stony Creek elevator accident in Elizabethtown. A 54-year-old man and a 54-year-old woman suffered possible leg fractures when an elevator in which they were riding fell approximately 8 feet on Tuesday evening. Scary. Again, scary. This coming from the Johnson City Press. I don't think we'll find anything news, any more information on this as it gets swept under the carpet, and kind of scary. Sounds as if it were a hydraulic elevator, maybe the piston dropped out. I don't know, but just kind of scary, to say the least. I'm sure the lawyers will all figure that out, right? Anyway, I hope for a speedy recovery for both people. Okay, Cambridge news in the UK. Apparently, an elderly woman plunges 20 feet down an escalator at Cambridge Shopping Centre. Apparently, let's see how it happened. Doesn't necessarily see if it says she fell over or not, but still not good in either case. So again, kind of scary. Okay, another press release coming from actually online. I don't even know where it came from, but apparently ThyssenKrupp has launched a digital magazine for not only elevators but just buildings in general. So it's kind of interesting. It doesn't look like your traditional predictive elevator maintenance today. It's definitely a marketing piece. It's called Urban Hub. I suspect you can probably subscribe to it, but it's not necessarily a traditional type of magazine you would necessarily see, but still kind of unique and interesting to see how companies are trying to reach architects in a clearer way, in a better way. So we'll see what other traction we get from what they publish. So again, pretty unique marketing idea. Terrible news. Apparently, a woman was slashed in the face on a London Underground escalator. There's a video of the gentleman who is the suspect. A pretty plain day too. So if somebody knows who this is, and I am certain they will, you are to contact police if you are in the UK. If you are in the United States, I would not necessarily do so, but still terrible. And the last news article for this week's program, coming from thestate.com, church officials, leaders have basically requested support. I don't even see the article anywhere. This is photos of grits. So anyway, but in South Carolina, church officials or leaders are urging parishioners and those in the area to support the requirement or need for an elevator system. So anyway, if you're going to look that up, go ahead and do that. If I can find that link before I post the show, I'll definitely repost that or relink it. And that's pretty much going to do it for the show, everybody. I told you it was going to be a short one. I did. I mean, maybe even shorter than normal, but it is good to be back. As always, thank you for joining us. Be safe out there. And make sure you share the message of safety, whether it's how to safely ride elevators and escalators, whether it is working on them, whether it is working with other people who are on them, because at the end of the day, we all want to just go home to our families. So remember that. That's very important. All right, everybody, we'll be back next Wednesday, where we will be inching closer and closer to the holidays, which will totally drive us all crazy. I know, it just seems to happen that way. So, all right, everybody, take care. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.